At the beginning of the film, we see a car that stops at a gas station. A man gets out, goes inside, and asks the mechanic to fix my car. The mechanic replies that the garage is closed today and there will be no work. The man says, "Please fix it. I'm really sick and I need to go." The mechanic thinks he's being greedy, but then he asks him if he really has to go. When he says yes, he starts fixing the car. After doing a little work, he asks for $200. Instead of giving him money, the man starts laughing. The stranger says, "I just wanted to see if you were greedy." He then takes out a pistol, shoots the mechanic, throws the gun away, and leaves. The stranger then goes to a man named Salim, who runs a bar. Coming here, we find out that the mechanic whom Stranger killed was tasked with killing by Salem because that man had not been returning Salem's money for a long time. At that time, Salem's car was parked outside the bar, which was broken. Someone had tried to steal something from his car during the night. What was stolen, we will find out later. Now we see Marilyn, a girl working at the bar, whose boyfriend was coming to propose to her today. She also made a cake for her boyfriend. Today was a very special day for her. So she decides to leave early. Marilyn goes to her boss to take leave. Stranger is also sitting there. Marilyn does not listen to both of them, and she leaves. Stranger leaves the bar with drugs and money. Upon arriving home, Marilyn first listens to a voice message from her boyfriend Troy, in which he says that his mobile phone's battery is about to run out and that he is on his way. He will be there soon. Marilyn puts her phone on charge and starts getting ready. She decorates the house a little, changes clothes, and then she hears some strange sounds from the door, as if someone is coming in. When she comes down, she sees that the door was shaking, but no one is there. Now we see the stranger driving his car on the road. He remembers that he also has drugs, and he decides to take drugs in the car. During this time, his attention is diverted from the road. Suddenly, a person comes in front of his car, and an accident occurs. The stranger tries to maintain the balance of the car, but the car goes and hits a tree. The stranger gets out injured and sees that the person he hit was a girl. Her condition was very bad. Her face was badly injured. It was difficult to recognize, and she was bleeding profusely. The stranger looks around and sees a light on in a house, meaning someone was living there. He thinks about running away. First, he tries to start his car, but it won't start. Then he tries to drive the girl's car, but it won't start either. Then he takes the keys out of the girl's pocket and drags her body to hide in the woods by the side of the road. Now we see Marilyn again, who is preparing dinner at her house. Just then there is a loud knock on the door. Marilyn thinks it might be Troy, but he never knocks on the door that loudly. He realizes that someone else is outside. She doesn't open the door, but whoever it was comes in through the back door. It was the stranger. The house he saw the light in was Marilyn's house, and now he has arrived there. He ties Marilyn's hands and feet and ties her to a chair. On the other hand, we see Salim, who is approached by the police. The police question him to investigate the mechanic's murder. Salim flatly denies that he did not commit the murder. "I was in my bar all day if you want. Check it out." For now, the police are satisfied, but they say that the killer left his gun there. Hearing this, Salim also finds it strange why Stranger left his gun there, when he should have destroyed the evidence. Marilyn's friend comes to deliver the cake, which Marilyn had forgotten at the bar. She knocks on the door repeatedly, but there is no answer. She leaves the cake outside. Stranger keeps watching her from the window. After the girl leaves, he calmly pours milk and starts drinking it. Then he looks at Marilyn with strange eyes. He takes the cloth out of Marilyn's mouth, fixes her skirt and covers it up. It seemed that his intentions were not bad. Now he opens one of Marilyn's closets, and from the pictures there, he and Stranger find out that the boy she hid in her car was Marilyn's boyfriend, Troy. The stranger asks Marilyn for the car keys, so Marilyn explains that Troy's has the keys, that he always has them. He had put the body in a bag with its pocket and thrown it into the forest. The stranger now realized that he would have to go back to the forest to get the keys. He set off towards the forest. On the other hand, we are shown an exterior view of Marilyn's bar, where it was time for the last girl to go home. When Marilyn's girlfriend went to her boss's office to tell him that she was going home, Salim forcibly stopped her and started making inappropriate gestures with her. Because this girl had also borrowed money from Salim, and Salim seemed to consider those to whom he lent money as his personal property. The girl somehow manages to save herself and get out of there. Salim suddenly thinks of his gun, which belonged to his grandfather, and he always kept it in a box. When he opened the box, he lost consciousness because the gun was not there. In panic, blood started flowing from his nose. He understood everything. His house had been robbed last night, and the thief was no ordinary thief. It was Stranger, who had stolen his gun and killed the mechanic with the same gun. He had left the gun there so that if there was an investigation, Salim would be the one to be caught. Salim went crazy. Stranger not only took his money, but also laid a whole trap to trap him. On the other hand, it is shown that Stranger has reached the forest and is looking for Troy's body so that he can at least take the keys out of his pocket and get out of there. But when he gets there, he sees that Troy is still alive and crawling on the ground trying to reach his house. When Stranger comes to him, he starts trembling with fear. He had lost a lot of blood from his body. He has become extremely weak. As soon as he coughs, blood splashes on Stranger's face. The Stranger went mad with rage, even though it was not Troy's fault. But the Stranger decided to kill him too, and beat him so mercilessly that he took his life. Now Troy was dead. The Stranger started searching his pockets, where he also found the ring that Troy had bought to propose to Marilyn. The Stranger kept both the ring and the keys. Now he wanted to hide his body permanently, that is, bury it. While he was doing all this, Salim passed by. He saw the Stranger's damaged car on the road, and also the blood stains. He understood that something had happened to the Stranger, and if so, he would be nearby. He saw Marilyn's house from a distance and immediately set out in that direction. On the way, he also saw Troy's car, which was parked in a dilapidated condition. Salim arrives at Marilyn's house and knocks on her door. When Marilyn opens the door, he gives her the shocking news that Troy's car has been found in an accident on the road and that he himself is missing, while there was also a lot of blood on the road. Marilyn is shocked to hear all this. She begins to understand that something must have gone wrong, but she does not want to believe it. Salim asks her, where is Troy? And it is shown in the background that the Stranger has entered the house with an axe. The Stranger did not waste a moment. Without giving anyone a chance to understand anything, he hit Salim's neck with an axe in one blow and killed him. Marilyn saw the whole scene with her own eyes. Salim's blood splashed on her face. She runs upstairs in fear to save her life. The Stranger runs after him with an axe. Marilyn is grateful that the axe hit the door, and not her. The axe got stuck in the door, which Marilyn took advantage of and ran upstairs. Now the Stranger was going up to kill Marilyn, and Marilyn had already picked up the gun that we had seen earlier. As the Stranger began to turn the door handle, Marilyn opened fire. The Stranger backed away at the sound of the gunshot, realizing that Marilyn was armed and could no longer go straight. He went back downstairs and turned the door handle as if he had left the house to deceive Marilyn. But he was already inside and sneaked up the stairs, taking the axe and waiting for Marilyn to come out. When Marilyn thought the Stranger was gone, she ran out the door. With the first blow, the Stranger broke her nose and the gun flew out of her hand. Marilyn fell to the ground, unprepared for the attack. The Stranger was about to strike again when Marilyn acted wisely, immediately raising the gun and shooting him. The Stranger knew that he would not live long. Before he died, he tried to take the drugs out of his pocket, but Marilyn shot him dead with another shot. Before he died, Stranger took the ring out of his pocket and threw it in front of Marilyn. Marilyn rushed to pick it up. The same ring that Troy had intended to give her. Marilyn burst into tears. This apocalypse had broken out on the day of the engagement. Stranger died laughing. Before him was the dream he could never fulfill. The ring, which was now in Marilyn's hand, his future that he could never